everybody. We're Underground Noise. Rhino and I are having the pleasure today of welcoming back, returning from Germany. And we're going to talk about their new album, Makes Us Survive. What's up, dudes? Welcome.
Hey, hi, everybody watching. Glad to be back on your show.
Absolutely. As always, we're always sponsored by our awesome mascot standing right there. His name's Roger Wilco. At your service. Guys, that new album fucking rips, man. It's a real face melter, especially with that first song that you guys listened to last night for like the 10th time. Holy shit, man. That song really slaps the face off and more. What more could you tell me about this album and how it came and how long did it take to write?
Well, actually, these are old songs from our first two albums, and we re-recorded them for our 30th anniversary. And we took the best songs from the first two albums, 3 from the first and 6 from the second, and some intros. And yeah, so the albums had a not a bad quality, but average.
Worst 90s sound.
Yeah. And they are sold out. Both are no more available. So we had the idea to re-record them, and with the opportunity to record the drums in a good studio for free. And that was the point to say, okay, we're doing this right now, and recorded all the other stuff at home or in our rehearsal room. And yes, we had a bit in a hurry to get the things done this year, but in the end, we finished it right.
Maybe
Yeah,
you can tell something about the sound engineer job.
Let's see if he has any more questions for us. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to mention that the whole album sounds really tight from start to finish, and you really can't go wrong, man, because you got Slayer elements in there, you got Destruction, a little Creator, you know, a little bit of every thrash metal influence, including Bay City area thrash, right there in California. I compare it to that because it has that fucking, you know, thing that just makes you go, what the fuck? These guys are fucking sick, and you guys have been around for 30 years, so happy anniversary. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been around for 30 years. I just joined 5 years ago, but I'm glad to be part of the pack since then.
Well, you still got a little catching up to do, I guess you could say, but hey, you're on your way to a decade, bro.
Yeah, we're going places. We're making progress.
And with release of this new album that came out just 4 days ago, man, that's phenomenal. Look, I bet that's a big ripper for you.
We also hope it's gonna do well. We had the release show this weekend, this Saturday. It was sold out in our hometown, so that was a big thing we were looking forward to. And yeah, we'll see what happens next.
That's awesome. Would you like to relate as to how many people showed up, would you say?
I think it was 360-ish, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was packed. The place was a madhouse. It was awesome. People were going crazy, climbing on the stage and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great time. Great time.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
we played
really
2 sets.
good.
At first, we played the new album, and we did a 50-minute break, and then played the best of all the other albums, and did some 2 cover songs as an encore.
That's really cool. What cover songs, if you don't mind me asking?
Annihilator,
Alice in Hell.
Alice in Hell, and Ozzy, Bark at the Moon.
That's awesome. I love Bark. Awesome choice, guys.
We also prepared some Megadeth Hangar 18, is it?
Yeah.
But yeah, our second guitar player has a little bit ache in the hand and made it too difficult a solo.
A little ache. He actually played this 2.5 hour set with a tendonitis in his left hand. So, yeah, big props to him that he did the show, and we will be always thankful that he didn't crap out in the half of it.
Well, I'm glad you
He
guys
did
had an
quite
awesome
well
show.
that night, but he couldn't rehearse all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Hello?
You guys had a sold out show. I'm so proud of you guys. Keep up the excellent shredding, you know?
So
Sorry, the connection is crapping out right now. It's there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Check 1 2. The connection was crapping out for a moment over here.
Hey, that's okay. We've got you back.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
So I don't know what was the last thing that made it over to you. So
Oh, we caught pretty much everything, but I was gonna say that I'm proud of you guys for having a sold out show. That's fucking kick ass, and keep up the awesome shredding.
thank you. Yes, we will.
Yeah, you're welcome, most definitely. Let's see what Rhino's got for you today. I'm pretty sure he's got some good stuff to ask you.
All right. In this new release, did you keep the songs that you re-recorded totally original, or did you make any changes?
Some little changes. We changed 2 lyrics a little bit. For one song, we rewrite half of the lyrics, and in one other song, only a few words, and we changed some guitar solos, or we have now a second guitar player. Back then, I was the only guitar player, so he played some solo over riffs that had no solo back then. And we did some, yes, extended intros, and yeah. And normally, the songs are quite the same as back then, but we played a lot of the songs in the whole time, not every, but from time to time, and the songs developed a little bit over the years.
Nice. Excellent.
But that's no really big difference.
No, that works great.
The sound is better.
Yeah.
Playing and the sound is much better than it was.
Awesome. All right. Before he has to leave for work, do you have anything to confess to Roger?
Nothing that would like go by the censors, so we'd have to skip that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but I imagine, yeah, YouTube Germany and such is probably a little more strict.
Well, I guess so. No idea actually, but no. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions,
Of course. Recommend a German brew to me. I see these guys sipping some German beer.
Well, probably have to go with our beer from our hometown, Braunschweig, which is Wolters Pilsener. Some of the best around, and basically we grew up with that. So yeah,
Okay.
that we gotta recommend.
I'm not sure. I still haven't made it to Germany. My great grandparents were from Rheinsfeld.
Oh,
Okay.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta take a trip sometime, maybe make it to Wacken open air or something like that. Guys,
Yes. It's on my to-do list for sure. All right, I'm going to throw this one out there because I just love the answers. All right, you get to bring a musician back from the dead. In return, though, you have to sacrifice a modern musician. Who's coming up? Who's going down?
Oh, okay. So musician who's dead that I would like to bring back. First one comes to mind, Dusty Hill. I think that would be nice to have back. And who's going down for that? I think I would sacrifice someone from Lord of the Lost, which is a German band. I don't know if you've heard of them. If they're any big in the US, I have no idea. But I think that would be a fair trade. What about you?
Well, I think Eddie Van Halen had to come back.
Yeah, you have a son, which is also great. I would like to bring back maybe. I miss Ronnie James Dio, really.
Yes, of course.
That would be a nice thing. And sacrifice maybe maybe Doro Pesch. That's not my favorite singer.
Too good. Too cool.
That's hilarious.
Let me send it back to you, Al.
Okie dokie, Rhino. Sounds good. Yeah, Doro. That's such a funny answer. I happen to like a little bit of Doro, not everything she's done, but hey, why not? You know, bye, Doro, or bye, Felicia. You know, hey, I got a good question for you guys. Say Rhino, myself, and anybody else that wants to come to Germany. What would be a good, delicious cuisine, like food-wise, to eat?
Oh, I'm hungry now. Damn.
Food. Oh, no.
I think if you like very spicy food with meat in southern Germany, that's a region called Franken. You have nice sausages and what is braten?
Yeah, meatloaf, basically.
Yeah, and this is also a region where they have a lot of beer, and every corner has their own brewery. So this could be a nice place to join for food and drinks. And what is ugly German food? I don't know.
No idea.
I personally don't like sauerkraut, but
Well,
but that's only my.
The crowds.
I love sauerkraut, man. Can't go wrong. It's so good, but it gives you terrible gas afterwards if you're not careful.
Yeah,
Not for me.
The power of fiber.
Fiber.
I don't know if there's
no fiber in sauerkraut.
Man. I don't know if there's fiber in cabbage, but I know there's fiber in almost any leafy green that's out there. But hey, I could be wrong. I don't fucking know.
I couldn't tell you. My I don't know, food science studies have been never the best. So no idea.
Yeah, same with plants. Botany is not my thing, but hey, you got to go with whatever you feel tastes good to your taste. You know what I mean?
If you can't smoke them, don't grow them.
That's right. That's right. Good call, Rhino. Good call. That's hilarious. Well, let me ask you guys this question. What's the craziest thing that you ever witnessed at a show? Like, say it's a show you performed at or a show that you attended. Like, have you ever seen anything like with a person's face busted open or a broken nose, maybe a black eye, maybe a torn off ear?
Not quite. I saw there's and I tend to get them mixed up. There's two bands called Shining. One is from Norway, one is from Sweden, and one of them, I think it's the Swedes. They're like a depressive black metal type of band. And their singer, Niklas Kvartforth, he actually does some really crazy stuff when he's on stage. So he not only punched his guitar player in the face, but he also like broke a glass and threatened him with the shards and everything live on stage. So he just did that. And yeah, that's been stuck in my mind ever since I saw that show. I've never seen anything that crazy. Barbed wire. Why do you? He just asked me what a certain like Bob. Why do you want to talk about barbed wire?
I think the Krille in Denmark. I saw a show from Mayhem, and the singer had to like steel things with barbed wire, and he hurt himself the whole show. So
Oh shit!
full of blood, and after that, on top of this steel barbed wire thing, there were 2 dead pig heads. He threw it in the audience, and the audience zerfleischt. I don't know.
The audience
spreaded the flesh,
ripped them apart, dug into them. Okay,
and then, but it was funny because after the show, I went backstage and I saw him alone with his still white face and very covered arms, and he sat there, couldn't smoke and drink because he was
he was too messed
the
up.
show was too heavy.
Jeez.
That is insane. Holy shit. I would never thought of that about.
Yeah.
You know, talk about ripping flesh apart. Maybe you guys should do that as your next cover by Destruction, ripping the flesh apart. That's a killer song right there, too.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna cover Destruction. I don't know what Schmier would say about that if we do it, how he would feel about it, but it would be an interesting choice.
Yeah, we had 2 shows with Destruction. One
Oh, nice.
was
2004.
2004.
And in the 90s.
And in the 90s. But in the 90s, it was without Schmier. It was only the guitarist Mike and some other guys. But in 2004, yes,
was funny.
was also a funny story.
Let's not dive too deep into that.
I mean, if you guys want to talk about that, you're more than welcome to.
What?
Yeah, Till had a yellow drum kit.
Okay, yeah.
And we came to the place and Destruction weren't there, so we put up our things on stage.
They wanted to play over my set, so
yes, and we did the sound check. And later, when the sound check was done, Schmier came in and saw the yellow drum kit and said, "What? Yellow? No way! We are not.
We're not in the post office.
Not in the post
because
office.
Because in Germany,
here.
the post offices are all yellow."
Yeah.
Then he said, "Oh, we need a black drum set." So, and so they had to change
the set and did the whole sound check again. Yes. But
yeah, I was going to say
it was more funny.
I was about to say, if you guys picked up the drums, you know, put black and yellow together, you'd be called Striper.
Oh God, please no.
But I did not mean to interrupt your story. Continue.
No.
And then the same show, he killed Schmier, played over a bass box. And later it was damaged.
It was too loud.
But too loud, I don't know. It didn't work anymore.
He found the 11 on his amp.
Yeah, that's funny because I could only imagine what that would be like, you know, having to do a show with Destruction. That's on my dream list right there. All right, this is a question for all 3 of you guys. In your guys' opinion, what's the best album of all time?
No.
So far.
Difficult.
So you want to answer us today, or should we write it next week when we have thought about everything? No, tough question. I don't know. Just I'm gonna go with my gut feeling. So I can only answer this from my perspective, and I think I'd have to. I don't know. Objectively, it would be something else, but subjectively, it's probably gonna be some. I don't know. It's some Deep Purple record, maybe. Maybe a Deep Purple live record, that would probably rank very high up. I could go with Made in Japan, which would be the obvious choice for that. But yeah, I think that is definitely a contender for one of the best records of all time. Yeah, for me personally.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yes, my choice would maybe Rainbow Rising. It's this. I heard this record a lot, and I loved it, and still do.
It's difficult to decide. For me, a big influence was, of course, Rain and Blood from Slayer, but also like progressive stuff, like the first Miss Sugar EP or stuff. I think it would be Slayer. If I had to decide, it would be Slayer. So.
Excellent choice. I love that album myself. That's one of the most hardest albums I've ever heard.
Was in that time it was a brainwash for me. Rick Rubin sound.
Yes, surely.
Back in the day, man, Slayer, they were way ahead of their game for sure.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
I remember when I got the Slayer album on tape, because it was so short. I got the tape with 30 minutes. Normally you needed a 45-minute tape for an album, but the whole album fits on a 30-minute tape.
Yeah.
And I really heard it a lot when it came out. At first I didn't like it, but after a few lessons, yes, I heard it over and over again, and then I loved it.
that is awesome. I remember cassette tapes, and they're making a comeback just like vinyl. But hey, we're gonna throw it back to Rhino, see what Rhino's got some more stuff to throw your way.
All right. What would you say you feel is unique about German metal versus other regions?
That's an interesting question.
I think it's the other area of the
Fold maybe.
Oh, you're lucky then.
Well, I guess so. We got other bad stuff too. So, but I don't know. We don't go mostly don't go the hardcore in your face type of metal. We always want to do something more melodic, or, more. I don't know. Want to stand out in some way, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Mostly it doesn't, but for some bands it did work.
I work as a piano tuner. Maybe that's strange for a metal guitarist.
No, I don't think that's strange. I mean, the piano is the fundamental instrument.
Yes, that's right. But many classic musicians or many piano, many people who have a piano don't think that the piano tuner plays in a metal band, You can't imagine that, I think. And I don't tell them. All strings, you mean? Or one?
That's a lot.
Oh, that's over 200 strings in a piano. So yet it lasts 2 days at least.
I'm glad I don't have a piano.
Yeah, same here. That's a lot of
which work you have to do. But besides, you don't only change strings, but you have to do other work as well, maybe. So the change of strings, maybe 8 to 10 hours. Just change them.
Oh, wow.
Wow, a lot of tedious work it takes. You got a hammer, got this and that, and the other, like a whole case of tools just to tune that damn thing. That's a lot of tedious work, if you ask me.
Yes. Most people don't realize when I open up the piano, they see the action for the first time, and they are wondering what how it works and look a little confused maybe.
Just real quick on that, what's the most expensive piano you've tuned?
I put new strings on it.
Oh,
Made it even more expensive.
Someone
what
must
you got
have,
now?
well, I was gonna say, somebody must have had a really giant paycheck to afford that one.
Yes, but it was it belonged to. I was working not for myself, but I worked for someone else, and this guy, he was from Japan. He worked here, and he had the grand piano. I think when I remember, came from a big music school, and from time to time he got grand pianos, das Werkstatt,
Workshop.
to his workshop, and I worked there to change the pieces that were needed new.
That's amazing, though. I can only imagine how much fun you had doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a bit boring work sometimes. You have to do, a piano has 88 keys, and you have to do 88 same work over and over again.
Well, sometimes repetition is what makes it a little bit stronger, you know what I mean?
Oh,
That's how us as musicians grow. Sometimes you got to do the same riff until you have a different one, just add on to it, you know?
yep.
Well, let's see here. If there's a country that you guys could perform in, like it's your dream country to play at, where would it be?
I think it would be interesting for us, of course, to play the first time in the US or maybe South America. So we had two guys from I think it was Mexico on our concert, and they were going crazy and knew all the text. And so I think it's very enthusiastic audience in South America, but USA is also very interesting for us. I think it would be a dream to play one time in the Bay Area, of course. That's where it all started. So that is a big dream for me, maybe.
Yep. To be honest, yes, America all the way.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of our influences are from. That and the UK probably, but I'd love to play in America. That would be a great thing to do one day. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I'd avoid the Bay Area. A lot of needles. Just it looks like I don't know, it looks like a third world country now.
Oh, it does.
Oh.
That's shame to hear.
Mhm.
Well, maybe we could lift some people up then, kicking their asses. So I don't know. We'd give it our best shot.
Give 'em that-
Absolutely.
give them that thrash metal that slaps their face, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
give them a little wake up call.
Yeah.
Well, this might sound funny. Give them a real headshot, you know what I mean? Because you guys are.
For real, sorry.
I was saying give them a real headshot because you guys are the real headshot. Yeah, dudes, that's fucking killer. All right, my next question for you guys is this. The two songs that stood out to be my favorites off this new CD that you guys put out, Makes Us Survive. I like the song Let the Past Go, or Leave the Past Behind, whatever it's called. And I also like the song Sudden Death. As I told you, the song Sudden Death just starts off the whole entire album just perfectly. What songs do you guys find to be your favorites?
In My Mind is my favorite song. It's a more slow one, but it has a good melody and good atmosphere.
Yeah.
And when we play it live, it always is a good counterpart to the faster stuff, and people like it every time.
Yeah, my favorite's probably Sentence, because it stands out a lot. And while I really like the faster stuff, we tend to play a lot of them and just a couple of mid-tempo or slower tempo songs live. So these are always something special, and really like that riff in the verse of Sentence.
I think my favorite is Silent Cry. It's my favorite thrasher from the past, which we also play a lot still. And yeah, it's a lot of work for me to play, but I like that. It's my workout.
Yes, we get a lyric video for Emotional Overload on YouTube.
Maybe you've seen it.
And this was the title track from our second album. It's the same name, Emotional Overload. It would be maybe my second choice.
Second choice, I'm gonna go with Sudden Death, actually. That one just kicks ass.
Okay. I think my second choice would also be Sentence, because I like the doom sound, and so we open up it also with a Black Sabbath vibe, like the Thunder on their first record. So
Oh, I didn't expect that.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, excellent choices, most definitely. But yeah, Sudden Death, man, what a ripper. That song, like I said, I can't believe it's like it just grabs you by the face and wants to slam you on the ground a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it's also from the second album, and it's a very short song. No? It's
2.5 minutes?
no, 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
And there are no guitar solos, so we made a song without any, überflüssig.
Yeah, without any, like, I don't know.
Just in your face,
yes.
you know? Just 2 verses, 2 chorus, and finished.
Short, sick, and straight to the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like these
Love it.
fast songs with about 2 or 3 minutes. I think on every CD we had 1 or 2 of them. Yes, and I also like the longer ones.
That's really cool.
It's a good counterpart. No? I think you need some Abwechslung.
Yeah, a little
Variety.
Variety, yes.
Hey, nothing wrong with variety. Sometimes you gotta, toss it up a little bit. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I got a few songs like that are mid-tempo, then there's some that are super fast, and it's like, okay, let's slow it down a little bit. Why not? A little bit of groove to it, and hey, it works.
Yeah, it's like with a good horror movie, you'd have to have a laugh in between all the scares or something like that, so you can get the tension up again. Otherwise, if you're just tense all the time and just aggressive all the time, it wears out after a while. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you 100% on that. This is my next question, then we're going to throw things over to Rhino. When it comes to writing the intros, do you guys use a program or you guys use an actual keyboard? Because with me personally, with intros, I use BandLab.
Funny story about that, because while he actually writes all the stuff, we did use some actual keyboards on the last 2 records. Sorry. Because not only is he a piano player, I'm a piano tuner. I'm a piano player, actually, or organ player too. So we could use those skills on the records for mostly the interludes, and some of the slower songs have a Hammond organ in them, which is subtle, but it's there. So that's how we do it.
So which
Yeah.
intro do you mean, especially the
first one,
the
that
first
new
one? Yes,
album.
belongs to an older song called Prophecy. It was the beginning, and the last one is also Prophecy Part 3. It was the ending of that original song, and we cut all the middle parts out. And the Part 2, which is I did an acoustic version of a riff which came in the middle of the song with a few words in it. So that was my idea. We had only 2 weeks of rehearsal till we recorded the drums. So we could not, so we have to decide which songs we record, and had not the opportunity to rehearse old songs which we didn't play for 20 years or so, because it would took too much time. And so we only took a few parts from this song, you know, and so these 3 intro pieces came, or outro.
Yeah, those things really set the atmosphere for sure. What you got, Rhino?
Oh, first, I don't think we discussed it real quick. Do you guys have any upcoming shows booked?
Yeah, we have some we have some small festivals in Germany next year, and yeah, it's not we do not have really a booking agency or something like that, so it goes a lot with other bands, and so we have some exchange gigs. We played with Warpath last weekend, so we will play in Hamburg, and so but I think it will take place in Germany mostly.
Nice. That does work. All right, in a totally different direction. All right, doesn't have to be musical advice, but what advice would you give to your 10-year-old selves?
Well, I have to get that cough out first. I don't know. Maybe something like, yeah, just go and do as that girl out there, but then
Wear
maybe-
that condom. Oh, okay.
yeah. I don't know. Actually, I'm quite content. Maybe I'd say just do it all the same. Every mistake you make is something you learn from. So it's been a piece of the path, but these guys are much more experienced, so I'll let them talk.
Yeah, for me, maybe when Headshot started in '93, I jammed with Olaf and another bass player, and that time I had 2 other bands. So I said to Olaf, I have had not much time to rehearse with you as well. So search another drummer, but maybe would be nice to know how it would be when I started also for 30 years ago in that band. So I entered in 2000, but all in all, it's okay. Like it is.
He played the first rehearsals for about half a year, and then another drummer came in, and he came back in 2000 and played some shows before when the other drummer was ill.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was the only choice when that drummer left the band.
Yeah.
It took only one phone call, and the thing was
But sometimes it would be nice to be maybe 10 years older. What would have happened if we had started in the early 80s? Maybe would we like on the status like Sodom or Creator or something? We don't know. That would be funny question.
But the question was, what?
10-year-old, yeah.
You were 10. No?
Right. What advice do you give to your 10-year-old self?
Yeah. Oh, that's a hard question. I was 10 when I came into hard and heavy music. So I think I did it all right when I was 10.
Yeah. Me too. I think my first record was the first Roasted 2 album. So for me, it's also
really?
all right.
Yes, my first one was Back in Black. I think.
Okay. All right. Your first tour, what went right? What went wrong?
First tour.
Oh, we did no really a tour. We did several weekends where we shows where
Mini
we had
tours.
two or 3 gigs in a row. Yeah, but no more.
Yeah, thing is, if you like, as we said, we don't have a booking agency. We do all that stuff by ourselves. That makes it kind of hard to get onto a tour, especially if you're in a position like we are, and you'd have to play the support slot, like the very first opening slot of the evening. Those are, especially nowadays, mostly pay-to-play kind of gigs.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get into, and you'd have to upfront a whole bunch of money, and you'd have to make sure the logistics work out. So if anything ever comes our way and we get an offer, we definitely think about it and try to make it work somehow. So far, we're still looking forward to that experience.
Excellent. And real quick then, tell us about Headshot's first ever live show.
Oh, that's your choice.
First ever live show was 1995 on a garden party, and there were about 150 people, I don't know. And we were the first band and played for only 4 or 5 songs. And yeah, it was a good experience because the people liked us. And yeah, so we did then more shows and with
longer programs,
of course, and at clubs, you know, not only at the party. So it was more wie sagt man, gucken, was das wird.
Yeah, so it was more of a throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks kind of situation.
Genau.
Excellent. What you got, Al?
Well, let's see here. Say you could be a guest musician for a band for, say, a day. What band would you choose?
Was wir Gäste sind.
Yeah, we play as a guest musician in some band. What band do you want to play in?
I would try to replace Neil Peart.
He's a little overrated for you.
Would be very hard, but we saw them. We had the chance to see them live in Berlin, and it was awful. It's a drummer god also for me.
So it's awful that he's gone. It wasn't an awful show. Like,
no. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the show was fantastic.
Yes, maybe I would like to play some Deep Purple song.
Yeah.
I mean, Blackmore could for sure use a replacement by now. So there you go.
Yeah. How are you?
Let's see. So on bass, I mean, we were talking about ZZ Top earlier. So yeah, that's my hard rock kind of roots what I grew up with. Maybe do a session with Clutch or try to resurrect Chaos in some way, shape, and form. Get John Garcia back on the microphone and yeah, do a little stuff like that.
That's really cool. Now, this is a different question. I don't have a physical copy of your guys' CD, but when I looked at the artwork, I said to myself, wow, that looks like a zombie that's getting his eyeballs torn out. Who did the artwork?
What's this?
Do it,
Who did the artwork?
Yeah, yes. I don't know the guy who did the artwork. There's an internet place where are artworks for free, and so you can take. I looked for a good artwork and found it, and you can use it for yourself. And the artwork was from Dengraph Art, so I mentioned them, of course, in the booklet. And I thought it was would be a good cover with a. I put into the zombie the hole in the head on the front cover, and the title "Makes Us Survive." Headshot makes us survive is the title of the song "Day of the Dead." You know, it's the refrain, the chorus of "Day of the Dead." And Headshot makes us survive. It's a song about the film Day of the Dead, the zombie film. And I thought it's a good title for us. So because the band made us survive, maybe when we got some bad times, or we had the band, and we always have fun with the band, and it's yeah, when you play 30 years in a band, it becomes a very passionate, important thing in your life, you know.
I totally dig it. That's awesome. As you guys know, there's a lot of musicians that are getting up there in their 60s and their 70s. When you guys get that old, do you guys still see yourselves performing?
Yes, of course.
Well, why not? I mean, maybe it's with thrash metal, it's a bit harder than with hard rock, you know. I don't know if we can play in 20 years the same songs as now, but we
give it all we got.
We try. We do it as long as we can.
Yeah, at some point, you know, we're going to start hearing thrash metal at senior centers and nursing homes, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Like, you know.
That and death metal would be a circle pit of wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Now that'd be a sight to see.
I have no idea what they're in for the next decades. I mean, there's still, like, a lot of the older people are still going strong on stage and going out. For some, it's a good thing. For others, not so much. I don't know if you've seen the latest outings of Motley Crue or whatever Vince Neil said too, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
He's up to around 250, I'd say.
Yeah, at least by now. So yeah, let's see how long we are able to do it.
Well, just give it all you got, guys, because you got my support all the way.
Yeah, and you're gonna get your physical copy of the CD somewhere. We'll make that work. Get your address and everything, and send you guys a copy over.
Awesome. That sounds great. You know, we were talking about nursing homes. It's kind of funny because if there's a circle pit of wheelchairs, you're going to hear the song in thrash metal style. You're going to hear the wheels on my chair go round and around. I could only imagine it right now.
Give or take it, or not take, but give it a few years, and we'll be there. We'll see it happen.
Well, there's some funny videos around. Maybe you've seen the revocation video of the Grip Titans, maybe. There and
but I've seen Slayer goes to church multiple times. I can't laugh my ass off for that whole time.
I think Foo Fighters covered the idea, but it was funny, all with gray hair and in wheelchairs and still playing. Yeah, maybe this is our future.
That's fucking awesome. What you got, Rhino?
Do 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 do. I'm having a brain fart. All right, outside of family, who would you say you can give a shout out to your biggest fan, the person that's been to the most shows through the years?
Biggest fans.
Yeah, like a person that's followed the band forever. They're always
coming to mind. Like we have our dream team of background vocalists who did the group shows for the past couple of records. So Mark, Frank, Dirk, you know who you are. So these guys definitely need a shout out. Jonas and everybody else from our local promoter from the Hotel 666. They're great guys, always around, at least for as long as I've been in the band. So
yeah, well, it was funny to see when we had our 30th anniversary show. I think there were a lot of people who support us, maybe at least for 25 or 30 years. So nice to see that they grew up with us.
Yep.
And still come to the shows.
Yes, it changed a bit over the years. You know, we had a little bit different audience in the beginning. There was in the 90s, you know, there were not so many metalheads around as right now. It was a bit difficult time for metal.
Especially for thrash
Yes.
in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was at a hardcore show earlier this year, and I just found it hilarious. I'm thinking, 30 years ago, these people in the audience had their heads bald by choice. Now it's not an option.
Yeah.
yeah, well, for some it happens earlier, for some it happens later. So yeah.
All right, and Al's question. I'm going to steal it. All right, Pornhub or OnlyFans?
That's your question, dude.
So honestly, neither. I'm happily married, and so no need for either. And I can't talk for you guys, but they didn't seem to recognize the brands. Let me put it that way. So I think you're dealing with people who actually, honestly, have no clue what you're talking about. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. In case the wife's watching. Oh.
Well, there's one thing, if I may interrupt you, because you talked about vinyl in the last session. This is we got the last album on vinyl, but the manufacturers need about half a year to make it possible. But finally, we have this record, and now we are very proud to show you we have this in red, black marbled vinyl, so you can see it. Yeah, it looks black. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, but we're happy. This is our first vinyl. Yeah, we're happy about that.
It came out in April this year.
Yeah.
With a delay of 6 months, yes, or 8 months, because you have to wait so long for vinyl pressing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Al, what you got, bud?
Well, speaking of vinyl, what takes longer to press, a CD or a record?
The record, of course.
Record, yeah. Yeah, CD's burned, it's not pressed.
Yeah, I figured I would ask about that just because I never understood how long of a process it usually takes for those things to actually come into existence. So
yeah, it's probably availability. Like you've got way more faster working like CD manufacturing places than you got vinyl. I don't know what you call them, vinyl workshops, whatever. So they have a waiting list all the time, and you'd have to get your name in there pretty early, basically when you're still writing or producing the album, to have both available on your release date. So yeah, vinyl takes a whole lot longer.
That's really cool. Well, I got a few more questions for you guys before we're out of time. And before I ask them, I'm going to give a shout out to Davide Polito from the Metalist PR for helping set up this interview and having you guys as returning guests. Thank you, Davide. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Davide.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, such a great guy. Well, the next question I had for you guys was, who would you like to give a shout out to, and what would you like to say to your fans that might be listening?
Yeah, thank you for the support, for the long support, and for being at the show. We didn't expect it was sold out, or at least I didn't expect it.
Yeah, no.
It was really one day before the show, it was sold out, and there were no tickets in the evening to buy. And yes, I want to thank everybody who came to the show or support us buying T-shirts and CDs and stuff.
Yes, but for me, it's also a thank you for people coming longer ways, maybe to Switzerland or regions far from here to see us also, and maybe we can spread it a little bit. But yeah, it's a nice crew, the Hedgehog crew. So yeah, they make it worth.
That dude from Mexico, if you're watching, that dude from Mexico who knew all the lyrics, if you're watching, we need to know your name. We need to, like, you're gonna get another record sent to you too. Like, that was awesome having like the French guys at the release show. And yeah, so shout out to all the people who really took the long way, and all the unknown fans out there.
Yeah. There was one nice story in summer. Maybe you have heard of the Wacken Festival this year in summer. It was completely underwater because we had heavily rain in Germany, and they had to send away about 50,000 people who didn't know what to do. And you know, and Wacken people came from all over the world, and we played a very small festival called Helmfest. And so many of these Wacken people decided to go to our festival, and so we had a very international flair with flags from South America and Europe, and so it was a nice thing. So maybe to get popular in other countries, maybe, but it was a nice story. The small festival, maybe about 500, 600 people, and
Yeah,
so. Yeah, but in the end they had 1,500 people, so we had a little Wacken spirit then.
That's very cool. What would be your final words for Underground Noise Webzine?
Final words, got anything?
Ja, ich überlege gerade.
Okay, thank you guys both, Al and Rhino, for having us.
Yeah.
First of all, we hope that you continue with whatever you're doing right now, because it's awesome to be able to talk to people like from the other end of the world, basically, about our little band from Braunschweig, bumfuck nowhere, Germany. No, like it's a nice thing to do. So thank you very much for having us, and just the most success that you guys can and will achieve in the future for you.
Too cool.
Thank you. You guys have been awesome. Keep your horns up for metal, everyone.
I hope we can come back next year for an interview.
Yes.
Or maybe. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Would be more than happy to have you guys on again.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Keep up the excellent music, you guys. I'll be a fan for life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It means a lot to
Yeah.
us.
You're welcome. Most definitely.